everybody, I'm Jonathan Knight, and this is B-Movie Madness, and the movie I'm going to talk about tonight, well, the one I'm going to talk about tonight is a brand new release from SOV Horror, and it's a very special one because it's the fourth and possibly final installment in the SOV Horror anthology franchise. It started off with Zombarella's House of Horrors, continued on with Natasha Nighty's Boudoir of Blood, and the one I just watched and reviewed recently, Topless Tori's Tomb of Terror. And now, for the fourth and possibly final one, it's the one, the only, the legendary Natasha Nighty's Boudoir of Blood 2. Now, as usual, I'll have a better look at the cover on screen. This is the first one to have a returning host, which is why it's called Boudoir of Blood 2. And as with all my other anthology reviews, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to review the hosts, the stories. I'll tell you who directed it, what I thought about it, and then at the end I'll talk about the commercials and the extras and whatnot. So let's start it off. As for Natasha Nighty, well, with Natasha Nighty, I've become very used to Natasha Nighty because not only was she in the first Natasha Nighty movie, she's been in quite a few releases of SOV Horror, and she's hosted quite a few of them. There's a couple right here I'll mark off right away. She hosted Minds of Terror, Blown, and The Last Temptation of Bible Boy. She's done actually more than that. As usual, you go to sovhorror.com to get them. So by now, I'm used to Natasha Nighty, and I hate to pick a favorite, but she's my favorite of the three hosts in the franchise. This is no disrespect to Zombarella or Topless Tori. I think they're awesome too, but maybe because I've seen more of Natasha Nighty, I've seen more of her over the years since the first Natasha Nighty came out, which was about 2 years ago. But I really like her. I think she's funny. I think she's entertaining, and she does a really great job hosting this movie. And she does a great job, basically telling us that Tales from Masiello Part 4 is not that good. Do I agree with her? Find out in a minute. But overall, I love Natasha Nighty. I think she does a great job. Now, the first story is called Rotten Harvest, and it's directed by Keith Mundane, and it's about a rich and powerful family who bring a guy out to a cornfield. Their plan is to get information out of him, then murder him because he's not only killed their sister, but he stole a bunch of money from them and hid it somewhere. But they're going to try to be fair, and because he's a former track star, they're going to give him a 5-minute running start inside the cornfield, and then they're going to chase after him, presumably kill him. Of course, they're lying. They don't give him a 5-minute start, but they soon find out that there's something else in that cornfield, a scarecrow called Mr. Boo, and he hates trespassers, and he soon lets them know how much he truly hates them. Now, this is the one I was most curious about simply because I've never watched anything by Keith Mundane before. It says on here he directed Harvest of Blood, which I'm told Rotten Harvest is a sequel to, so I'm going to have to check out Harvest of Blood soon. But I was curious because I'd never seen any of his stuff before, and I was kind of like, wondering, how's this going to be? Well, very quickly, I became excited. When I saw that there was a cornfield in the movie, I said, there's going to be a scarecrow in this movie. There's going to be a killer scarecrow. And that's when I became super excited to watch it because I love killer scarecrow movies. They're one of my favorite subgenres. Scarecrow from 1988 is one of my favorite horror movies ever made. And this Rotten Harvest, I would say, is a mix of The World's Dangerous Game and Scarecrows from 1988. And that's why this one was so much fun. I had so much fun. First of all, I thought the Scarecrow looked incredible. It was very creepy, and they did a really good job with the clothing and the makeup and everything. And the other thing is I really like the Tales from the Caribbean kind of story to it, the morals. Nobody's a good guy in the story, not the guy that's been kidnapped and is going to get murdered. He's not a good guy at all. No one's a good guy. If anything, I think the Scarecrow is probably the best person in this story because we don't know his story for one thing. He just doesn't like trespassers, but he has good reason to kill these guys because they're really horrible people. And the movie does deliver on some really decent kills. A guy gets, I believe, his spleen ripped out of him from behind, which was actually pretty cool. A guy gets a corn on the cob stabbed through his head, which is, if you're going to have a corn on the cob in the movie, someone's got to get stabbed with it. Sleepwalkers did it. This movie did it. Corn on the cob is the most underrated horror movie weapon of all time. I said it, and I'm going to stand by that comment. Um, the other killings are there's some shootings because it involves bad people and guns. But the final kill of the movie, which involves a guy getting straw shoved down his throat until he suffocates, well, that's just poetic justice right there, and it's pretty cool. Like if you're gonna have a Scarecrow, let him stuff some people. That happened in the Scarecrow's movie, 1988 one. It happens here. It's very satisfying. And if you're a fan of Tales from the Cryptian kind of stories, if you like the World's Dangerous Game, if you like scarecrows, killer scarecrows, if you like them in general, if you like Dark Knight of the Scarecrows, Night of the Scarecrow, the one Scarecrow movie, the comedic one that came out in the early 2000s, Tiffany Shepis, I like that one. If you like any of those movies, I think you will absolutely have a great time watching Rotten Harvest. It's an SOV version of those movies. There is an SOV Scarecrow movie, I believe, called Dark Harvest, but I have not seen it. I need to watch it sometime soon because it sounds awesome. But overall, Keith Mundane, you did a fantastic job. I thought your story was absolutely entertaining as all hell. I'm definitely gonna check out Harvest of Blood soon because I got to have me some more Killer Scarecrow action. So far, we're off to a great start. Now, story 2 is called Don't Feed the Monster and it's directed by Ron Ford. This one is about a young female employee who decides to sexually blackmail her boss in order to get a promotion. But said blackmail not only turns into murder, but murders. But who's the murderer? Find out in Don't Feed the Monster. Now, this is one I was really, really excited for because I'm a huge fan of Ron's work. I mean, The Crawling Brain is still my favorite SOB horror release, so I was stoked for this one. I had no idea what it was about. Actually, I had no idea what any of the stories were about. I went in blind, which is the way I prefer it, so I was really excited. I read the title, Don't Feed the Monster, and I kind of assumed it was about someone feeding people to a monster. But that's not what this one was about. It's actually much better than what I had in mind, and I always like when a director does that. They're like, I know what you're thinking. Well, I'm going to go this direction. And Ron Ford, thank you for that, because this one ended up turning into one hell of an entertaining Tales from the Cryptian type story. Much like Rotten Harvest, it had that Tales from the Crypt kind of moral code to it. Like, don't blackmail people because you'll get yourself or someone else hurt. And that one's very much about that. And the acting from everybody was actually fairly good. Ron Ford plays a character in this movie. I think Ron's a fun actor, and I thought he did a good job in this. It's not my favorite performance from him, but it's still a fun performance. I thought both female leads did a great job as well, and the kills of the movie were fantastic and very well done by Teresa Black, the effects artist on this. She did a makeup effects artist on this. She did a great job. There's a multiple stabbing, but the best kill is when a guy gets a screwdriver stabbed into his head, and then he has a hood slammed down on his head so many times that it just fucks his whole face up. And I'll probably use the picture of that for the start of this particular review of this segment. But I thought the makeup effects were really well done. Some other people probably look at it and be like, that looks very cheap. Well, to me, it looked cool, and it had a very comic booky vibe to it. It looked like something you've seen in the old EC Comics, Tales from the Crypt comic, or the Vault of Horror, any of those. I thought it looked cool. And there's also a decapitation in the movie. I won't say who, gets killed. I'll let you see that for yourself. I thought the decapitation, the particular fake head, which was used in one of Ron Ford's other movies, The Road actually, which was in Natasha Nighty, Boudoir Blood 1, I thought the fake head looked cool. But ultimately, when it comes to an end, well, the main character gets what she deserves, and it's a good ending. It's the ending that you expect, but it's very, very well done. I got to give huge props to Ron Ford for this because he, made me think I was going to watch a monster movie, and he gave me something, in my opinion, that was much better, something more surprising, something well done. I thought the movie was well shot as well. I know he talks about it in the commentary that I guess he doesn't think he had to do his own shooting for it. I thought he did a good job. Ron. But overall, Don't Feed the Monster is a lot of fun. Now, the third and final story is called Trash Removal, and it's directed by Madeline Deering. This one is about a group of teenagers who, for community service, has to go out to the woods to pick up trash. Unknown to them, there's this toxic waste slime-like substance in the woods that's bringing the trash to life. And soon enough, that trash begins to attack them one by one. Now, this is one I was super excited about because I reviewed Spirit Animal back in 2020, which was also directed by Madeline, and I absolutely love that movie. If you have not seen that movie, I highly, highly recommend it. It's so much fun. So I was really curious to see, like, a follow-up to it, even like as a short. And Trash Removal is very much a spiritual sequel to Spirit Animal. It's shot in the same woods. It deals with an environmental theme. It has similar gore gags, but much like Spirit Animal, but in a much shorter form, it's a shit ton of fun. I have to say, of the three stories, this one's probably my favorite. It was the most entertaining. Definitely had the best gore of the three stories. The gore is so good in this. A pizza box comes to life and eats a guy's arm. I shit you not. A pizza box eats his arm. Like, I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, it was awesome. It was over the top. It was gory. It was silly, but it's the kind of stuff I like. Not only that, there's an actual trash monster in this movie. I'll have a picture of him at the beginning of the review. That is a monster made of trash who begins to attack the characters one by one. He rips a guy's brain out of his head. He rams a trash picker into someone's eye. He throws killer condoms. Yes, killer condoms at a guy's face. And it's really cool. They do a slingshot. And when it lets go, you see like a string pulling it across the screen, which I thought was really cool for them to do. But yeah, a guy gets killed by condoms. A guy gets his head smashed into a tree. Oh, there's so much to it. Oh my god, the gore is really, really cool, and it's done in that delightfully lo-fi SOV way with really fake rubber heads, fake eyes. Um, there's a similar kind of gag in Spirit Animal when someone gets killed. You can tell it was filmed like in another location, like indoors with a fake plant. I really like those shots. That they do the similar thing in this one involving the guy getting his brain ripped out. I thought that was really cool. And it was really funny. I thought the characters were actually a lot of fun. There's a random character that pops up that says he's a ghost that had me laughing my ass off. So not only did I get the laughs, but I got lots of gore. And it's also a spiritual sequel to Spirit Animal. So all in all, hell yeah, Trash Removal was awesome. Definitely my favorite of the three. That's no, diss to the other two stories. I love those as well. But Trash Removal is the kind of B-movie madness that keeps me reviewing movies on this channel. So thank you, Madeline. Thank you. Now, before I give you my final thoughts on the entire movie, I want to talk about the commercials in the movie. If you haven't seen my previous reviews for Zombarella, Natasha Nighty, and Topless Tori, each movie has a selection of fake trailers and fake ads shown throughout the movie. And with Topless Tori review, I decided to talk about every single one of those at the end. So I'm going to talk about them all and then give you my quick thoughts about each one. Now, the first one is 1900 Burger Hut. And this one's directed by Joseph Vogeli, who, if you're not familiar, he directed 2 segments in Topless Tori's Doom of Terror. He also did Specimen 6 and Last Temptation of Bible Boy. And what's really funny about this commercial is it's a sex phone line. But because they ran out of 1-900 numbers, they bought the old Burger Hut 900 number. So people who are calling for Burger Hut are not going to get Burger Hut. They're going to get the sex phone service. But it's actually hilarious. Now, there's actually 2 of these commercials. There's a different one shown later on. The first one has Ruby Solis in it, who was in Specimen 6. And she's really funny. Both of these are a riot. Oh my god. Like, the idea of someone trying to call Burger Hut and getting a sex phone line is absolutely hilarious. Number 2 is called Invaders from Invaders from Uranus. This one's directed by Caleb Elijah, and this is basically a throwback to 1950s science fiction movies, but with that SOV look. It looks really cool. I don't know if it's a fake trailer or a real trailer. If it's a fake trailer, I would love to see it made into a movie. And if it's a real movie, release it, because it looks like a lot of fun. Number 3 is Datamate Cletus, and this one's directed by Ron Ford, and this has Ron Ford himself starring as a rednecky hillbilly character who just wants boobies. He just wants boobies. We all do. This is probably one of my favorite Datamate ads. There's been quite a few of them throughout the 4 movies. And Ron Ford does a great job. He is incredibly funny in this. I think he's a fun actor. If I didn't mention that earlier, because I did several takes of that particular part of the review, But I think he's a really fun and very good actor, and he's clearly having a ball right here, so that's awesome. Number 4 is Voodoo It, which is a voodoo commercial for children, for voodoo dolls for children to use on, other people. This one, when I was watching it, it was really, really well done, and I was thinking to myself, like, this feels familiar in terms of like I've seen the director's work before. And when I looked at the end credits, it said Myron Smith. I was like, oh my God, Myron Smith. He directed Youngblood's Evil Attentions, which is an SOV I reviewed several months back about vampire kids. And I was like, holy crap. And I don't know how new this commercial is, but you can see the leap in quality. I mean, I love Youngblood, but you can see that he has improved as a filmmaker just in this like 30-second ad. It's a lot of fun. It's a cool idea, kind of. It's a cool idea, I guess, for certain people, but it's a really well done commercial. Number 5 is Pooh Be Gone, and this one's directed by my good friend Tony Masiello of SOV Horror. And this one's simple and to the point. Do you need Pooh Gone? Try Pooh Be Gone. Simple, to the point, but effective. Number 6 is Viber Hut, and this one's also directed by Tony Masiello of SOV Horror. Now, this one right here, oh my lordy, this is a vibrator commercial for a sex toy shop. But it's not just any ordinary sex toy shop. This is a used sex toy shop in which you can try the sex toys in the store. Not only is that absolutely horrifyingly disgusting, but it's so fucking funny. I mean, it's a genius idea for a movie. Not in real life, but it's a genius idea for a commercial, like a fake commercial. It was really funny. And also, just thinking about it right now. But it was funny. Number 7 is Datamate Deke, and this is directed by Mark Holmberg. This one's actually a lot of fun as well. I love the Datamate ads. I'm kind of biased because I did one for the first Natasha Nighty, but I really like the 80s hair and the 80s glasses that Mark Holmberg wears in the commercial. He plays a really cool, fun character. One that I would like to see return for feature commercials, maybe on YouTube. But overall, fun commercial. Number 8 is OD Me by Tony Masiello of SOE Horror. This one is an overdose suicide commercial, which is absolutely horribly fucked up. But I will not lie, I did laugh. It was a painful laugh, but I did laugh. So, kudos to you, Tony. You made me feel bad and laugh at the same time. You didn't really make me feel bad. I'm just being a dick right now. But it was really a fucked up but hilarious ad. Number 9 is 1-900 Mystery by Slade Shepherd. Now, Slade Shepherd is one of the co-hosts of the podcast SOBs Who Love SOV, which is an awesome podcast. You can check it out on YouTube. This one really, really nails the look and feel of those old ads in the 90s. This feels like something I would have saw at USA Up All Night watching, I don't know, Toxic Avenger and the Spookies or some sex comedy. This feels like one of the commercials you would have saw. He perfectly nails that look and feel. So this one is just beautifully authentic. Best way I can describe it. It's really well done. Number 10 is Wiggs Institute of Omaha. This one's by Tanya Atomic. Oh my God. Her deadpan delivery is absolutely fucking hilarious. It almost killed me. Oh my God. Oh, her deadpan delivery was just perfect. She did such a great job. She's an actress that's worked with Joe Sherlock and Joseph Wogley as well, so I was aware of her work, but oh my God, she fucking killed it. Great job, Tanya. Number 11 is Beautiful Bruno's Ghost Hunting and Coffee Shop by Mike Solomon. I think I said that right. I apologize if I didn't. Not only, that's a very wordy title, but Mike himself comes across as quite the character when I really enjoyed his antics on the commercial. He actually reminds me of someone I know in real life, which is really spooky, but he did a great job. And you know something? Ghost hunting in a coffee shop is not that bad of an idea. I'm just saying. Number 12 is Datamate Steve by John Ward. Now, John Ward did 2 commercials, maybe more, in Topless Tories to Matera. He did the Datamate ad there too. This one is also pretty funny. It's not as funny as his one in Topless Tories. That one was hard to top. But he did a good job with this one as well. Steve, I would call you. Just kidding. But John Ward, he did a good idea. Check out Axemas and Axemas 2. I'll put a link down where you can buy them. They're awesome movies. Number 13 is No Trial, which is directed by Maria Anna Cipolletta. This one actually has Ruby Solis and Joseph Wogley in it as well. And it's basically a caffeine pill commercial, like a caffeine pill, like on steroids. It's really funny. Joseph Oakley gives a really like energetic, fun performance. But this one also feels like something you would have seen like on TV in the '90s, like late at night where nobody else is watching but you. Number 14 is 1900 Vamp Fuck by Travis James Leland, and pretty much that's what it is. It's a vampire sex online, and in this day and age, that's actually something I could see happening. It might be already happened, I don't know, but it's something I could see happen. This one actually has nudity in it, and the reason I say that is because unlike Topless Tori's Tomb of Terror, there's not really much nudity in this one. There is nudity, and Tony said that he kind of told the people like, hey, if you want to put nudity in your thing, I encourage it. He did not ask me to put nudity in my segment, so I would have done it. But when I hired Vamp Fuck, it's awesome. Number 15 is Hack's Horror Show Duct Tape by Tony Hack Covington. It's like a super duct tape commercial. And you know something? If you are a psychopath and you want to duct tape somebody, this is the perfect product. Really well done, too. He did a commercial that was not in the movie about action figures, about serial killer action figures. That was really cool as well. I'm glad to see that one of his commercials made it into the movie because he did a really good job. So, Tony Hack Covington, really enjoyed your commercial. Number 16, Corpse Buddy by Dean Houlihan. Hopefully I said that. Hopefully I said that right this time, because oh man, I hate when I mispronounce people's names. But I love it when people tell me, or the correct way to pronounce it. I really appreciate that. You don't know how much I appreciate that. But Corpse Buddy. Now Dean did one for the first Topless Tory, which was Murder or not Murder Buddy, yeah, Murder Buddy. But Corpse Buddy is about digging yourself up a corpse, having yourself a buddy. In this day and age, you need a corpse buddy. You also need a murder buddy. Check this out. You hire a murder buddy. They kill someone you don't like, and then that person could be your corpse buddy. Right there. Match made in hell. But as usual, Dean did a great job. Now, number 18 is Data Make Pork Chop and Cooter, directed by Joshua Coughlin. It's about two rednecks who are interested in a virgin girl so they can sacrifice her to Satan. The two rednecks, Pork Chop and Cooter, are played by Joshua Coughlin himself and Cody Tudor, who also had an ad in Topless Tory. And this is probably my favorite Data Make ad of all four movies. It's absolutely hilarious. I think Joshua and Cody did a fantastic job. They are so funny in this. Cody in particular, oh my god, especially when Joshua kind of corrects him, don't say that. It's really funny. It probably is my favorite Data Make ad. Ron's being a close second. Now, number 19 is Fart Dead by Chris Leaks, and this is a fake trailer for a movie about farting zombies, which I don't know about you, sounds like the greatest thing ever. Now, there is a farting zombie movie, or a poopy zombie movie, Zombie Ass Toilet of the Living Dead, a Japanese movie that's just absolutely disgusting but hilarious. But we don't have enough farting zombie movies. We need more. So I would like to see this made into a movie too. Do it Grindhouse style and do it with Invaders from Uranus. Perfect. Now, do I recommend Natasha Nighty's Boudoir Blood 2? Let me think about that. Hell fucking yes, I do recommend it. Hell, it might be my favorite of the four movies. And that's saying a lot because I really, really, really liked the previous three movies. And Zombirella's House of Horrors was in my top 5 SOV horror releases. So that says a lot about this movie. It was, in my opinion, the most entertaining of the four. I thought all three stories were so much fun. I didn't have a bad time with any of them. And I thought all the commercials and ads and trailers were just hilarious and really well done. So I got a big thank you to Tony Masiello, Madeline Deering, Keith Mundane, and Ron Ford for entertaining me for 83 blissful minutes. Yes, blissful. I was having so much fun with this. It was very calming for me because nothing calms me down more than a good B movie. And this is not just a good B movie. This is a great B movie. And I also want to thank every single filmmaker who provided a commercial for this. You guys did a great job as well, and you did entertain me as well. So a big thank you to everybody out there. You guys did an incredible job. And if you want to pick a copy of it, pick up a copy of this, go to sovhorror.com. The SOV Horror store will be closing in November. I don't know if it's going to be reopening or not. So you got very limited time to pick up this one and the other SOV Horror releases. So please, before it closes up shop, pick up a few of them. If you're a fan of B movies, you won't have a bad time because they all deliver something enjoyable, in my opinion. But let me know down below if you plan on picking up one. Now, before I end this review, let me talk about the special features quickly. There's an audio commentary with cast and crew. Tony Masiello does the commentary for the ads and the host segments. He talks about, who made what commercial. It really helped me out when taking notes. The filmmakers, if they did another commercial that he, put in the bonus materials and all that. Keith Mundane and the co-writer and lead actor of the movie talk about the making of that movie, how it's a sequel to Harvest of Blood, who did the makeup of the movie, the makeup artist whose nickname is Gumby, who unfortunately passed away, rest in peace, and other, stuff about the making of Rotten Harvest. Ron Ford talks about the making of his segment, how he couldn't, one death couldn't have been bloodier because of the location he was filming at, how he had to shoot the film himself, who the effects artist was because his previous effects artist unfortunately also passed away. And Madeline Deering talks about her inspirations for trash removal, how it's a spiritual sequel, who did the effects, who are the actors in it, props from Spirit Animal that ended up in the movie, including a Dingo pizza menu, which I didn't notice until I was rewatching it. But yeah, it's a very informative commentary track. It's very detailed about the making of all of the stuff in this movie. So if you're a fan of DIY filmmaking and you want to learn more, I really highly recommend giving the commentary track a shot. There's the bonus commercial reel, bonus commercial reel, which is the exact same one that was on Topless Tory. So if you want to know what's on that, just go to that review. There's the SOV horror trailer reel, and then there's a sexy Natasha Nighty insert, which I can't fully show for certain reasons. But yeah, pretty cool. So overall, yeah, I really highly recommend this one. I think you'll find it has a lot of stuff in it you will enjoy. It has a lot of gore. It has a killer scarecrow. It has tales of Cryptian kind of stories. You got Vibra Hut. You got everything you'd want in a slice of pure B-movie madness. So yes, I do recommend picking this up, along with several other SOV horror titles, including the previous 3 movies in the series. So yes, highly, highly, highly recommended. Now, as for future reviews, I'm thinking about doing Little Corey Gory, and after that, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might take a longer break this time, kind of reset myself and re-energize my batteries. But if you're a fan of my channel, please hit the bell, give me a thumbs up, and comment down below. Tell me how you're doing. That's all I really need to know. I appreciate every single one of you that watches my videos. But that's it for now. I'm Jonathan Knight. This has been B-Movie Madness.